AI, machine learning, data science. You hear these words thrown around all the time, right? Well, they're not just interchangeable buzzwords. They're actually distinct fields, and honestly, a lot of people get them mixed up. But figuring out the role each one plays is so important. Think of it like this. One is the huge overall goal, another is the powerful engine that gets us there, and the third is the entire human process of putting it all together. Let's break down exactly what that means. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to cut through that buzzword jungle. Then we'll dive into AI, machine learning, and data science, one by one. But the really cool part is when we connect all the dots to see how they actually work together. And we'll wrap up with a super simple guide on when to use each term.
Okay, so let's just start by admitting something. It is totally normal to be confused by all this. You might hear a company talk about its new AI feature, when what they really mean is they built a clever machine learning model, which, by the way, was created as part of a much bigger data science project. See, they all just kind of blend together. So let's pull them apart.
So yeah, what is the real difference here? It's a great question, and I promise, by the end of this, you won't just know the textbook definitions, you're going to truly get the relationship between them and how they all fit together.
To really understand how these pieces fit, we have to start with the biggest one, the entire universe of this topic, artificial intelligence. You got to think of it less as a single technology and more as the grand destination we're all trying to reach. At its absolute core, AI is this huge, ambitious dream. Can we create machines that can think, reason, and learn in a way that feels, well, human? It's the whole scientific field dedicated to copying all the amazing things our brains can do. And in the real world, this means building systems that can do really complex stuff all on their own. Things like solving a puzzle, figuring out the best delivery route, or actually understanding what we're saying. You know, a self-driving car isn't just following one simple rule. It's a full-blown AI system making thousands of intelligent decisions every single second. So, if AI is the whole universe, then what in the world is machine learning? Well, think of ML as one of the most powerful engines inside that universe. It's not some separate thing. It's a specific and frankly dominant way of achieving artificial intelligence. The real game changer with machine learning is that it's a part of AI where we just stop giving the machine a bunch of explicit rules. Instead of programming, if an email has this word, then it's spam, we just show it millions of emails and let it learn the patterns for itself. It literally builds its own rules from the data we give it. And this right here, this is the magic trick of machine learning. You're not the one coding the rules for spotting spam. You're just the teacher, showing it tons of examples of what spam looks like and what it doesn't. And from that, the machine gets smart enough to figure out the rules all by itself. And believe me, you use this stuff every single day. Your email spam filter? That's classic machine learning. The product recommendations on Amazon that know you a little too well? Yep, ML. Even the systems that try to predict stock prices or decide on a credit score, they're all just ML models that are incredibly good at finding patterns in mountains of data. All right, so we've got the universe, that's AI. We've got a powerful engine inside it, that's ML. So where does data science fit into this picture? Well, think of data science as the entire workshop, the whole process, where a person uses all the tools, including that ML engine, to dig for real value in data. See, data science is a much broader field because it's a very human process. It's all about mixing statistics, programming, and just good old-fashioned business sense to find answers hidden in data. Machine learning is a super powerful tool in a data scientist's toolbox, for sure. But they also have to know which questions to ask in the first place and how to tell a compelling story with the results. A real data science project, it doesn't just start with some fancy algorithm. No way. It starts way earlier, with collecting and cleaning up messy, real-world data. Then, just exploring it to see what's even there. It's only after all that groundwork that they might decide to build a machine learning model. And this is so important. The job isn't done until they can visualize the results and tell a story that helps someone make a smarter decision. Okay, we've got all the pieces on the table. Now for the best part. Let's finally connect all the dots and see how this all clicks together into one complete picture. So here's the simplest way to think about it. A hierarchy. At the very top, you have artificial intelligence, the big dream of creating intelligent machines. Inside of that, you have machine learning, which is a key method for making those machines smart by learning from data.
And then you have data science, which is the whole discipline that uses machine learning and other tools to solve actual real-world problems. And just look at how different their goals and outputs are. AI wants to create an intelligent system that ultimately produces an action. Machine learning is more focused. It wants to build a predictive model that produces a prediction. And data science? Its goal is to solve a business problem, producing an insight. Each one kind of builds on the last, going from these huge abstract goals to concrete, actionable results.
Let's make this super concrete with an example literally everyone knows: Netflix. The whole process kicks off with data science. Data scientists at Netflix are the ones collecting and cleaning up just massive amounts of data. What you watch, when you hit pause, what you search for, all to just understand how you behave. Okay, step 2. This is where machine learning gets tagged in. Using all that clean data from the data scientists, ML engineers build and train these incredible predictive models. The whole point of these models is to learn your specific taste and then predict what other movies or shows you're probably going to love. And then, the grand finale, the whole recommendation engine that you actually see and interact with, that is the application of artificial intelligence. It takes the predictions from that ML model and autonomously decides what to put on your home screen. The system is acting like a smart movie expert, making decisions for you without any person having to step in. All right, so now you get the theory. But how do you actually apply this? When do you talk about one versus the other? Let's wrap up with a practical little guide so you'll know exactly which term to use. You're going to think data science whenever the main goal is simply to understand something. If you're digging for insights, analyzing past trends, building a dashboard for your boss, or just trying to answer a specific business question using data, yep, you're in the world of data science. Now, you'll want to switch your brain to machine learning mode when the focus moves from understanding the past to predicting the future. If your job is to build a predictive model, recognize patterns automatically, or create a system that just gets smarter over time with more data, you're talking about machine learning. And finally, you bring out the big guns, artificial intelligence, when you're talking about the whole shebang, autonomy, and decision-making. If you're building a system that can act on its own, make choices without a human in the loop, and combine smart automation with intelligence, you, my friend, are building AI. So there you have it. The next time you hear someone throwing these terms around, you'll know exactly what's what. AI is the dream, machine learning is the method that teaches the machines, and data science is the craft of actually applying it all to reality. So the real question isn't which one is more important, but which one of these powerful fields do you think will really define what comes next?